taking a look at a new camera. Actually, we got this one at a drugstore for 50 bucks. Looks like it's got a lot of the features that we're looking for. It's a nice compact size, and it uses AA batteries, and it uses SD cards, and it records in the AVI file format. Those are three things that, well, for me, make it a perfect camcorder. So as long as this thing works and the quality is good, I think we might have found a new camera to use. So we're going to take a look. It says it's from Living Solutions. I never heard of them before. Hopefully we didn't buy some garbage here. It's in sort of a clamshell, not real strong plastic, but I don't see any pre-made ways to zip it open. These are locked up on the rack at the drugstore that we got these from. So I guess they're worried about theft or shoplifting or whatever. So we'll just use a sharp knife here to cut into them. It's not too hard. I don't think I'm cutting any wires or anything important. I'm cutting really close to the edges so that I'm sure I'm not, or I'm trying to avoid that. Alright, take out this backing, which seems to have the paperwork in it. It's got a cord here with some RCA and a 1/8 inch. Looks like it can play to a TV. I've got a wrist lanyard. So there's another layer of plastic here, and that gives us access to a small DVD or a small CD and a USB cord. And of course the camera, very lightweight, which you'd expect with modern electronics. And the back piece of backing, which just is more advertising really. So a little bit of plastic here to throw away. A little bit of paperwork there. Somehow the manual is going to sneak out of here. And there's some more ad stuff. We'll just whip through it here. It says it's got a 2-inch monitor. Tells us the dimensions. Uses SD cards. It has a 512 internal memory. It weighs 2.5 ounces without the batteries. It uses the AVI file format. It's a VGA 640 by 480, which isn't the biggest resolution out there. It can do a video frame rate of 25 frames per second. 2 AA batteries. As I mentioned, it's got USB out, auto power off, manual off, auto exposure, and auto white balance. So it's very similar to one of the easy to use little handheld camcorders that are out there. Living Solutions. Really don't think there's going to be anything in here to surprise us. It does look like it has some software, perhaps. Connecting the camera, it doesn't really say. It says how you can import the pictures to it. I think it just strings them together into a video for you. Alright, nothing spectacular or anything out of the ordinary in the instructions. The battery pack is right here. We'll grab a couple of batteries for it. And for electronics like this, we've been having real good luck with these Ultimate Lithiums from Energizer. So we'll start out with a pair of those. Takes an SS or an SD card under this little rubber cover, and then it's got a steel peg going through here for a lanyard, and it looks like I can probably get some 550 cord in there. TV and USB are here at the top. Seems fairly comfortable to hold on to. I like that it's a black and white. Doesn't look real weird or anything. Let's grab a SD card. Dig into our SD cards here, and I'll pull out a fresh, well, here's a 4 gig. I'll use this littler one. And we'll put that in. Don't know which way, so I'll just try it both ways. It only fits in the one way. Snaps right in. And then we'll hit the power button. Wow, turned right on. Can't beat that. We'll peel this piece of protective plastic over the back there. Well, I can first off tell you that that screen resolution is horrible. Really can't see much, and it sure is zoomed in. Wow, I hope it's just the lighting in here. Let me pull it out of view for a minute. No, it's a pretty lousy resolution, really. But might be good for an emergency camera. I won't complain too bad because I might just be looking at a bad screen here. But we'll go ahead and hit record. All that stuff disappears when you hit record. All this writing that was on the screen, and it's doing its recording. We're seeing the elapsed time up here, and it's in red, so you can tell that it's record. And I'll go ahead and hit record again, and it says ready to record in green. It says time left 33 minutes 51 seconds, video saved 1. Record. All that stuff disappears when you hit record. All this writing that was on the screen, and it's doing its recording. We're seeing the elapsed time up here, and it's in red, so you can tell that it's record. And I'll go ahead and hit record. So I guess it's just telling how much time is left or how much size is left on that card. And if I am correct, that's a 1 gig card that's in there right now. It's actually the micro SD in a converter thing to bring it up to the size of secure digital SD card. It's got a speaker right here, so I'm going to hit playback. And it says playback mode, please select file 1 of 1. And this bottom of the 2 white buttons here says delete select, so I'll hit that. No. Record. All that stuff disappears when you hit record. All this writing that was on the screen, and it's doing its recording. We're seeing the elapsed time up here, and it's in red, so you can tell that it's record. And go ahead and hit. Alright, so that was its recording, and again, it looked pretty junky on the screen there, but we'll turn it off here. It's got a loud beep. I imagine I probably can't turn that off because I don't see any kind of menu option. Oh, I noticed there's another piece of plastic here. That's what's bugging me, so I'm glad that this peeled off. I didn't see it there at first, but it makes it seem a lot nicer looking on the back here. It was looking sort of dull. Okay, so we've got the back. In fact, I suspect there's going to be a piece of plastic to come off of this front piece as well. I'll leave that one there since it looks pretty decent. That'll give me some of protection on the front cover for a while. I'm not a big fan of having this speaker right here, but it doesn't bother me too much. There's no volume. There's just literally 4 buttons here. Power, record, playback, and select delete. There's not even like an up or down or left and right or anything. It looks as though this hole here, right underneath the lens, would be its microphone. And it seems like it did a pretty good job of recording there. I am indoors talking down at a table, and then this was listening to the table, so it wasn't a very hard job for that microphone, I'd say. Doesn't look like there's any way to zoom, so it's a very few features on this one. I suspect this would be a great one for a kid though, because it's so lightweight. It seems pretty durable. Of course, it hasn't had any kind of shock switch system yet. $50. You know, if you find a flip camera for $50, maybe used or lightly used, it's not impossible, and they are better than this one, but I sure do like the features on this one. Now I say better, but of course I haven't taken the card out and put it into a computer yet to really see what this is like. But it just seems to me, looking at the difference here, we'll have to do this one side by side with some other things to show the difference. But it's zoomed in quite a bit, and it does not look like I can unzoom it. So it's pretty much, you know, a one focal length, one focus, one zoom type of snapshot video camera. But it seems to be okay. Here's my hand out in front of it. You know, I can't get a whole hand until I come real far back here. So anyway, we'll stop here because now we're going to have to watch both this version after this version so that we see the difference here. But overall impressions, right on the balancing line. I'm right on the fence. If it's worth $50, so far I'd say yes, reluctantly.